The Toronto that the world knows and loves today grew up around a strong public transit system in which streetcars have played an essential part. The Toronto streetcar is an icon for the city, as recognizable as its distinct neighborhoods and landmark buildings. In the heart of the city, at the Hillcrest Shops, ATU Local 113 maintenance workers have been keeping these streetcars running for over 30 years.
We have a lot of trades here under one roof, and the things we create, the things we do is just incredible.
And it is a great privilege when you're out on the street to see the cars that you work on, to know that they're picking up passengers and they're running.
I can see my work every day.
It just makes me feel good. It really does.
That's what I enjoy in my job, is to know that what I do is benefiting the public.
The Hillcrest Shops are the home of the Life Extension Overhaul program, a crucial preventative maintenance program that keeps streetcars on the roads serving Torontonians. It takes the skilled workers at Harvey Shop 5 weeks to overhaul a streetcar, and that car will then be out on the road for 5 years.
You don't want a streetcar loaded with people that is unsafe and wait until it breaks. So we want to make sure that we maintain the integrity of the vehicle. And so before it breaks and before it fails, we bring it in, we change what needs to be changed, and when it goes out, we know it will remain out there for a long duration of time, being a safe and reliable vehicle.
It's just like your own car. If you don't maintain your own car, it's going to break down. So we're preventing that.
The LEO program begins with a thorough inspection of the streetcar. At this point, any wires that have been damaged due to years of use and exposure to the elements are replaced. Several safety-critical maintenance procedures are also performed. The electrical components are removed from the streetcar and thoroughly cleaned of carbon buildup in order to prevent fires. Workers also replace the high-voltage ground plates, protecting passengers by ensuring that the potentially fatal 600 volts of electricity used to power the streetcar travel safely into the ground. Finally, the streetcar trucks are disconnected from the streetcar.
If you look at a streetcar, it's easy to identify the wheels. That's the trucks. The trucks are what house the wheels, the axles, the motor. My job right now is to do the electrical disconnect so that the trucks can be removed and shipped down to the truck section. They're taken to the truck section and they're completely stripped to nothing. The wheels come off, the axles come off, the motors come out, all the wiring is stripped, and then everything new is retrofitted back into this vehicle.
Once the trucks have been broken down, the motor is removed and taken to the motor repair section, where highly skilled workers have to rewind the armature, the heart of the motor that powers the streetcar. Sal Giampreto is an experienced armature winder who worked in the private sector for 15 years before joining the maintenance department at the TTC.
My dad was working here before, and I never knew TTC had a winding department like this. I saw their operation and I said, you know what, this company, they offer more opportunities, so I decided to make the move. When you start contracting things out, you would always try to find a faster or cheaper way to repair the motor, whether it be skimping out on the material or skimping out on a testing procedure. I came from a company where it was go, 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 go. And when I came here, I had to slow it down a bit and pay attention more to quality. Outside, my boss would come up to me and say, okay, I need this done in 3 days. And for you to do it in 3 days, you're gonna need at least 15-hour days. And somebody working that many hours isn't at the right state of mind. 600 volts going through this, and if anything happens, it's a possible explosion. It's a big fire. But here, you're not pushed to the limit where you're going to be making mistakes.
When the armature has been rewound, the motor is reassembled and put through a series of diagnostic tests. At this crucial stage, ATU Local 113 maintenance workers determine if the motor meets the high standards required to go out into service and move Torontonians.
My line of work is making sure these motors run to specs, and I sign them off. I would never let any motor go out if it's not according to specs, and that's basically my job. They have tried contracting out. I don't think that the quality of these motors that we do here, any company out there can do. Because eventually, like in the past, work does come back, and we repair and fix work that people have done on them.
When you're in a competitive world and you're contracting out, you're doing whatever you can to make more money. When we decide to contract certain parts, they don't come back to our standards.
TTC will never know exactly what goes on with that armature 100% because they're not there. They don't know. How are you going to know that I tested that 3 times at 3,000 volts? You're not.
It's just too much at stake here. You're dealing with the public. You need to have these vehicles at 100%, and that's what we provide here at Harvey Shop. And I'm afraid contracting out will not give you those standards.
Anything does happen out there, we're dealing with electrical here. We're dealing with 600 volts up to 2200 volts. You can't really mess around. You can't really cut corners here.
We don't want to compromise safety for profit. And so there can be that risk that if the jobs are contracted out, we will compromise safety.
At the Hillcrest shops, all of the skilled trades required to overhaul a streetcar exist under one roof. While the trucks and motors are being overhauled in one section, the bodywork is being done in another. Extensive grinding and welding is done to repair damage to the body of the streetcar and to prepare it for painting. The old floors are ripped out and any damage to the steel subfloor is replaced. New wooden floors are built in-house in the carpentry section.
I would say quality is the first priority, absolutely. Quality leads to longevity, leads to less breakdowns, less fatigue. I think if you start off with quality, then everything else just kind of follows. We make wooden platforms here. Initially, they may be more expensive, but long-term, do they last 2 or 3 times what you would find outside? Absolutely, yes. We've purchased platforms on the outside, and they're cheap. They're cheap in price, they're cheap in quality, they break down.
From my experience with contracting out, it's just the quality of work's not there. They're in to make the dollar and ship TTC a product, but I know the quality is not there. Quality is here, it's here.
The upholstery section also plays a large part in the LEO program. Here, they build brand new seats to keep the streetcars clean and presentable for the public.
My name is Kim, and I started at the TTC in 1988, and I was a janitor. I had this fascination of seats, and I found my way to Harvey Shop, and I became a general upholsterer. Well, the accordion is the slinky-looking thing that attaches the 2 sides of a streetcar. A few years ago, we were sent to patch an accordion, so we came up with a patch. So we decided, well, why can't we make them here ourselves? When we do that here, we've saved the TTC $40,000 per car just doing that in-house. Well, if you can imagine, we put out 500 passenger seats a week. So 500 a week times 52 weeks, that's a lot of passenger seats. That's a lot of vehicles that we can cover. Subway cars, streetcars, buses, and even wheel trams. We cut so many meters of fabric a year to cover these seats.
If you walk around the complex of Hillcrest, there is so many sections, so many departments, and everybody is a master in their craft. The TTC has a great group of qualified people doing the work. And everybody take ownership. So it's not like they just do it and they forget about it and they don't know what happened to the streetcar afterwards. Right? Everybody knows that when that car goes out, there's that sense of pride that I was a part of that, and that makes a difference.
The bodywork inside the streetcar continues with the installation of the new floors and seats. The inside of the streetcar is transformed back to new and ready to serve the public for another 5 years. Now the streetcar is ready for a fresh coat of paint. The iconic red that defines Toronto's transit system. Just 4 weeks after coming into the shops, the refurbished streetcar body is ready to be married with the rebuilt trucks. Brighter, longer-lasting LED lights are installed to keep everyone on the streetcar safe. And finally, the electricity is reconnected and the new components are tested. Before any streetcar is sent out on the streets, a safety-critical brake test is performed in order to ensure that all 3 sets of brakes on the streetcar are functioning properly.
The workforce on the floor would not release any vehicle they feel is not fit for service. That's the way we do business here.
I've been doing this for 15 years. I never knew TTC had this sort of outfit. It's amazing. There's no way that they will get this quality of work outside. There's no way.
And there is the pride that will be really missed if we weren't here.
Everybody is within the same vicinity, everybody's working together. And so it is easy to maintain that communication and the harmony of the work.
We can get it done with each other's help, and we can just verbally talk to each other. We don't have to send emails or even pick up a phone. We can just walk to each other's section, and that saves a lot of time.
Not only that, we all know each other, right? So it makes the job easy, it makes it flow.
I have every confidence in that streetcar because I know the people that are behind it, and we care.
I don't see the difference between this streetcar or my personal vehicle. I wouldn't put my family in an unsafe vehicle. And so the effort is taken to make sure that whatever product we put out is a safe and reliable one for the community, because my family is a part of that community as well.